I'm McKade Mettauer. Okay. I'm McKade Mettauer, and this is College Football Confidential by Mercury. The biggest difference between California and Oklahoma is I think it's the atmosphere. You know, people actually care about football here. In California, we were kind of like, we felt like a burden as a football team, I'm going to be honest with you. But it's nice to feel wanted and feel like a part of the community and like something that everyone really looks forward to watching, and not like guys who just took the academic slots from like these kids' homies. Another difference is the weather. I would say California weather is pretty awesome, but it's pretty hot here during fall camp. It's pretty brutal. But I think people in California don't really care about football. It's not really part of like the culture. How would I say it? I don't know the reasoning for it. Like, I think they tell themselves that there's a lot to do out there, but there's really not. You know what I'm saying? Like they act like, oh, football is not like that big of a deal, but if they actually tried to get engaged in it, they would actually get addicted. You know? So I think it's more of like perception. The reality is football should be a big deal, but they tell themselves it's not because they think that they're better than that, I think. And that there's so much more to do. That's what I've always been told. Like, oh, people don't go to the games because there's so much to do here. I lived there for 3 years. There's really not, unless you're like a gajillionaire. There's not much to do. I mean, I'm being honest over here, right? I mean, are there any rules against it? Like, yeah, that's pretty confidential. I mean, I'm telling you guys what's up. Don't go to California, dude. Especially Cal or USC. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, Pac-12 is gonna fall apart soon. Cal's trying to beg their way into the Big Ten with their California homies. I don't think that's gonna work either, because nobody wants them. Why would the Big Ten want Cal? Why would they want UCLA or USC? I mean, I get it, like a big name, but like in all honesty, like they're just gonna get smacked by Ohio State and Michigan and all that. Like, it's facts, dude. Like, I don't really. It's so true though. I'm trying not to. It's just true. I mean, when they're all like, oh, we're opening the market, like, okay, like UCLA, like that's a big football name. But I mean, I've been to Pasadena. You know how many fans are in there? I could probably count on two hands how many fans were at that game. I played there 3 times, dude. Probably had some on my toes, and that was it for all 3. All right, since we're on like the topic of like California and stuff, like I have a good story about some of the stuff that I used to do just because I was so mad that I went to school there. So I have an F-150, big old white F-150, 6-inch lift on it, some 35s, 10 miles to the gallon, not a Prius by any means, because they like those out there. $5 a gallon for gas, didn't care, used half my stipend for gas money. But when I would go home, I would go get it tricked out. It's like when I would go home, I would save up and I would go to the truck shop, and I got a train horn put underneath my car that no one could see. There's a little button that they put on the side, extra button that's detached from your regular horn. But anyways, so after our morning lifts, I would always go see how sensitive anyone could be, and so I would go down frat row, like little frats and sororities, with the boys in the back of the pickup. And so what you do is you fill the air up, the compressor with air. And so what I do is I leave it on as long as possible because that makes it as loud as possible. So I would turn the air compressor on, go down frat row, 7 in the morning, and just honk my train horn from every single frat just to wake the frat boys up. You know what I'm saying? Don't you ever tell me that being a regular student is hard, okay? Because that is absolutely ridiculous. I had to let them know. Anyways, dude, I feel like now that I'm on that track, there's some funny stuff. We all had mopeds. Like I used to ride a 150cc Yamaha Zuma. That was my scooter. And yeah, I did. And we used to do this thing called bro petting. It's like we were all 300 pounds, dude. Those things could get it. So me and my other roommate, he was a O lineman. He was 6'7", 320. We'd bro ped to practice together, and he'd get on the back with me, but he put his hands on me, put his hands on my shoulders or whatever, and then like we'd freaking go to practice, and like we're going up these hills, California's real hills. We go up the hills like that, and we just, yeah. But I stopped doing that when my roommates got hit by a car, dude. Yeah, I know it took a pretty drastic turn right there. Get hit by a car, man. I love him. He was a first rounder, but he got hit by a car and broke his hip. Terrible. But that's when I stopped riding my moped. That took a really drastic turn right there, but
Yeah, did you
Well, it was just on the topic.
Wait, he's good now though?
Yeah, he's good. He's still playing.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't die. No, he broke his hip. Yeah, no, he's good though. That dude's tough actually because I remember he got hit. He called me and said, "Hey, come get my scooter, please." Just normal. I said, "What?" He said, "Come get my scooter." I said, "Okay." He goes, "I just got hit by a car." I go, "You did?" I said, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Dude, just come on and get my scooter." I was like, "Okay." Gone. Come there. He's gone. No ambulance or anything. I pick up a scooter. It's crushed like a Coke can. Pick it up. Apparently, he got up after he got hit by the car, walked into the ambulance and got in with a broken hip. Like shattered. And got in there. I mean, that's the toughest dude I've ever seen. I mean, he's a big hippie. He used to walk around barefoot. He used to eat, plants off the ground. Dude, he was crazy. I love him. But, yeah, no, he was a baller. Defensive line. We used to go against each other every day. But, yeah, that dude was like 320 and just, like, shredded. It was crazy. It was a pain in the ass. But, yeah, he's a good player. I think he's got one more year like me, and then he'll be going to the draft soon, too.
Did the frat boys ever complain?
Oh, dude, the frats hated us there. Like, like here, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, man, like, we play football." And they'd be like, "Oh, man, come on in." We're like, "Dude, you should be, like, an honorary member." No, out there, they're like, dude. It's like there, it's like a bunch of nerds that, like, weren't cool in high school, and then they get there and they get in a frat, and so then they think they're cool. So then they think they can tell you what to do. All we did was just, I mean, I guess this is kind of criminal. We would just, like, break in the basements, like, open the windows and crawl in the basements and then just get in there. And, like, we wouldn't have wristbands or anything. I guess we wouldn't break anything. We would just climb through the windows. One time we lifted my friend who was 6'7". We lifted him into the second floor window, and his legs were sticking out. And one of the frat boys came up and jumped on him and grabbed his legs and pulled him out. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the same thing that happens when I go home. Like, cause I've had so many like college experiences like now, just because it's just a different world over there and here. That like when I go home, my mom will have her friends over. She's like, "Tell some stories." Dude, I got a whole Rolodex. Just like Venables has quotes, I got Rolodex stories. I'm not over here trying to bash California. Yeah.
I mean, we are bashing. This is the California roast session right
Yeah, this is. I had a great time there. I made awesome friends. But, dude, I'm telling you, for what my purpose is, I did what I needed to do there. And now it's time to focus on football. Like, I like that I get to play football here and not really worry about anything else. There's too much stuff that you have to worry about. Like, not hurting people's feelings, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I used to get called in the head coach's office like every other day because I, broke the linebacker's thumb or something. Dude, he would be like, "You can't do that anymore." And I'm like, then they took my edge away, so then I started playing soft. Now I got it back. You can ask Venables. I got it back. Finally. Only took 3 more years. Yeah, no, I'm getting political without getting political, right? I mean, everyone knows what I'm talking about. I love paying for $5 a gallon gas with my truck. I got reported for having Texas license plate for too long. Yeah, they said I lived there for too long, and they wanted me to switch. Some random person. Who has time to do that? I went to California because, I mean, I guess, like, in my mind, I was under-recruited. But I guess not in a lot of coaches' minds. But, I mean, the good thing was I loved my coach that recruited me there, but he retired after my first year. And so I went there, developed for a year. I started every game that I was there and then got to enter the portal. And then it was like, the Wild West. I got to go wherever I wanted. And, of course, I wanted to go here. I always wanted to go to Oklahoma, but Coach B didn't offer me out of high school, which is fine. I don't hold grudges, obviously. I mean, I had a good time, good weather. I made great memories, but it wasn't what I was meant to do. I was meant to, I'm a good Christian boy from Texas, so I went out there, shined the light for a little bit, and then told them deuces. I did what I could before they forced me to leave. Yeah, the portal was pretty crazy. Once I got the email that I was officially in the portal, they, my phone, I couldn't stop my phone from ringing, really, which, was kind of, made me feel like all my hard work was paying off sooner rather than later, which was good. But yeah, I got a lot of calls from schools that I didn't really expect, and then once I got the call from Coach Beanbo, I mean, you can ask him. I committed in 10 minutes. He said they had an offer for me, so I told him I'd think about it, and then called him back 5 minutes later. So, yeah. It's pretty. And then other than that, I mean, I got plays from all over the country that I would never even have thought of in high school. But it was just That's when I realized that I was a little better than I thought I was, just because like I didn't really get the recognition in California that like you would, being at a place like Oklahoma. So some other schools I was talking to was like Ole Miss, Clemson, A&M. Who else was it? Well, you asked, first of all. It was confidential. But I said no for the Sooners to all of them. Make sure we emphasize that one.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know NIL was a thing, really. Like, yeah, which looking back, like, that's really not the kind of guy that I am. Like, I'm not going to go ask for money. Like, if I get it, I get it. But, like, I didn't even know, like, that was a thing. Like, I remember Venables told me, he's like, yeah, we really like you. Like, you're real low maintenance. And I'm thinking, like, what is that supposed to mean? Then I'm figuring out that, NIL is like a thing all over the country, and guys are transferring and getting money. And I'm like, you guys getting paid? What's that movie? Oh, We're the Millers. He's like, I'm only getting 1,000. You guys are getting paid? That was me. I was like, what? He's like, low maintenance. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, they must like me just because, I didn't, take that long. No, it's because I didn't ask for money, apparently. Which I would not go back and ask for money. That's because I love football.
So, you got no money?
Huh?
You got no money?
No.
Zero.
$0 when I came here. Nope.
Do you have it now? Do you have some money now?
We're not going to talk about that right now. Cut that.
It's confidential, dude.
Confidential. It's going to be on YouTube.
We're leaving that in. We're leaving that in.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, now that I've been here, like, I've got a little bit of money. Hooters gave me some money. I had an NIL deal with Hooters, me and the boys. It was great. So they gave us a little bit of money to go take some pictures with the girls. Oh man, hard work. But then they gave us like a little VIP card that said like my name and it said VIP, and we got to go spend like it was like a certain amount of money a week. But of course, it was like the one that was 45 minutes from us, so But yeah, no, it was a good time. The pictures are cool. I mean, I still have them up on my Instagram just because hashtag Hooters athlete. It's funny. Well, everyone loves it. I have the business account, so I get to see like my insights, like who shares it. I think it's like one of my most shared posts. Like back home, everyone thinks it's cool. Like it was cool, but like a lot of people think like it's a bigger deal than it was.
Do you think it was shared a lot because of you or because of the girls?
I think it was because I was
With the girls.
with the girls. I think people thought it was funny. They were like, "Oh, look, okay, whatever." I got a girlfriend now, so I love my girlfriend, and she's way hotter than all those Hooters girls. I'm dead serious. Put this on the record. I'm a 318-pound offensive lineman, and what I eat in a day is, I guess, so like after the lift in the morning, I go get some waffles, I get an omelet. I normally do 3 or 4 hash brown, like they're like the patties are this big, and then some biscuits, and then we normally have like a casserole there, so I eat that too. It just depends on like what program I'm on for the day because my weight kind of fluctuates. But when I'm on the weight gain, I get the casserole, the biscuits, hash browns, waffles, and then what was the other thing? Oh, and then I get an omelet. But I put some vegetables in the omelet. And then like for lunch, I have like 2 or 3 lunches because they let us take the go boxes. So I'll eat 2 plates for lunch, like whatever they have. I normally eat like a burger, wings, and fries, and then maybe a salad, just to balance it out, I guess. And then I'll take like some rice and chicken for my second lunch during film, or like after film. And then for dinner, like last night, I had rice and 3 chicken breasts. And then after, I went and got some ice cream. I wanted to go get insomnia cookies last night, but the line was long. But then like if I get like past the 320 mark, then I start skipping meals. Just because it's better to be underweight than over, because then I can eat whatever I want. I don't think about it.
It's good that you threw the salad in there. That really balanced it out.
Yeah, you got to get your vitamins and your minerals. Yes, the craziest thing a fan ever said to me was nothing, because they didn't talk to us. Wait, at Cal at least. Here, though, the craziest thing that anyone's ever said to me was, I had a little kid ask for my mouthpiece after the spring game last year. Those kids are, like, they're wild. They're like, give me a glove, give me a glove, give me a glove. And I'm like, like at first I was a sucker. I'm like, oh, this is so sick. They want my stuff and whatever. Finally, I started making stipulations. If they wanted something, they had to know my name. Of course, None of them did. If they Googled it fast enough, they would, you know. Finally, I had this little girl come up to me and she said, McKade Mettauer. And I was like, oh my gosh, take here, get all, you know. But then that little kid after spring game asked me for a mouthpiece, and I was like, you really want that? That's kind of gross. And he goes, oh yeah, that's actually really gross. No, I don't want that. Oh no, I have another crazy thing. So behind, yeah, I'm not gonna bash the fans because I mean I love them, but like if we're doing bad, but behind the O line like section, it's normally like there's normally some people. They're these ladies sometimes, but they'll be like, you guys need to block. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and you know like my chair sits up against the brick wall, and so they're like in my ear. They think that brick wall like makes them. I mean, I'm like we're not gonna do anything, but it's like why don't you cheer for us? You know what I'm saying? Which they do like when we're doing good, but you know when O-line's doing very good, it's like.
The lady wants to see some good run game.
Yeah, lady wants us to run the ball. Apparently, we're trying. Not if you're sweating for nothing. Okay, so the funniest Venables thing. So this is my 5th year. So I've technically been a senior last year and this year because I didn't know if I was going to stay or not. But so I would have to go to the senior meetings during the season, and I mean we love him, but he talks for a long time. But one time we were up in the senior meeting, and we were talking about the game for the week and like how we're going to prepare and all this stuff. And then he started talking about the stock market, and started talking about the stock market for like 15 minutes, maybe even 20. And then we're late for the team meeting, and at the end of that, he goes, "I'll be honest with you guys, I don't remember what I was talking about." And we were all like, "All right." He was talking about like him and CeeLo's portfolio, and then anyways, that was pretty funny. One-liners. There's one that's like pretty famous. Do what you can now, so that when you cannot, you don't wish that you would have when you could have.
That's from Dabo Sweeney, I think.
Well, I wasn't coaching to Dabo Sweeney, so to me it's from Venables. I know, I think it was too, but no, that one's longer. I can't remember the other one. The other one is prepare with purpose, right? Effort with technique. All commitment to doing our best. That's another one. Be uncommon. The uncommon man. The man makes the brand. Okay, hold on. There's a couple more. What's the other one? There's one more. As a man thinketh, so is he. He likes that one. His PowerPoints, he really likes putting lines on his PowerPoints. Dude, there's a couple more funny ones. I just can't think of them right now. I mean, they're all really good. Like, okay. Well, so like growing up, so my dad worked a lot growing up, so he wasn't really at home that much. Like because he's a heart surgeon, so he's always on call. He works 7 days a week. Like when I was younger, I used to sleep in my parents' room, like on the floor, and he would get called out at 3 a.m, all that stuff, and I'd wake up to him like talking to a nurse and like what's going on, someone's dying or whatever. He has to go, save someone's life. And then so when I would, not want to go to a workout or something like that, my mom would always tell me, she would say, do you think that your dad is tired? And I would say, yeah. She'd say, but does he complain? I said, no. And she was like, she always say, if nothing worth having is easy, which Venables says that too, but I heard that first from my mom. And so it kind of just gave me like a mindset, like I never thought I could do anything harder than what my dad did. So anything I did was what my dad did was always harder, right? And so I always thought that, I could never work as hard as my dad, so I never had a bad attitude or anything. So it was just not really a saying, but like that advice, just like having my dad work that hard and then having my mom like put it into perspective for me, it helped me out. And like now I'm, getting the boys up. I live with Gunnar Allen and Jacob Sexton, and like we get up at 5 for the 6:30 lift. We go listen to music, just so we can be awake. And like I could take that to my little brother. Like if I had me as like as a big brother, because my little brother's going to Wisconsin, and I'm gonna give him all the tricks, right? I didn't have anybody to tell me make sure that you wake up before you get to the lift. Like don't use half the lift to wake up. You know, so if I knew that as a freshman, right? I mean, I would have been like steps ahead of all the older guys, right? Because I mean, there's always guys that would be like try to sleep as long as they can, you know, and still get there on time. Well, that's actually not true. Then you can't lead. Then you can't do all that stuff. You have to have competitive stamina, which is true. Being a leader is, you know, everybody thinks they can do it, but they can't. I don't know how we got down this road, but they can't. Because it's hard. You know, you got to wake up at 5. You got to go set up the film, you know, make sure that you do the cut-ups, do the test before everybody so you can tell them what to do. It's not easy. Some guys think they can do it. And you know what you do? You let them do it for a little bit, and then they burn out, and then take it back over. You got to appease the crowd. Anything else? I'm trying to think of some more funny stuff.
We need your show.
Huh? Should I?
We need a talk show.
Dude, am I doing pretty good? Dude, should we make a podcast?
Yeah, I think we should.
Dude, that'd be awesome, huh?
This would be good. Yeah. I mean, you're going to destroy that mic.
That's okay. I know I'm doing like I know I'm like unscrewing it and stuff. I gotta tighten it up. It's moving too much. I'm McKade Mettauer, and this was College Football Confidential by Mercury.
Cut. Good.
Thanks, guys.